Hey guys, Hello Studios here and welcome back for another great video. So I am recording this already late. I'm recording this on 26th September while I should upload it on 26th September, so I'm already late. Sorry guys, sorry, extremely sorry. So let's start. So today is Mr. Paul Newman's 12th death anniversary. So yeah, so let's pay a tribute to the legend by rewinding his story. So purpose of this video is to pay tribute to the late legend Mr. Paul Newman. So let's start. So just for 5 seconds we will just play music to start the tribute. So let's start. So already we have talked about Paul Newman briefly in my Pizza Cars 14th anniversary special. In this video we will see about him more detailedly, and if you want to see the Pizza Cars 14th anniversary special, you may watch it on my channel. It's on my channel and I will feature it in my end screen, the card suggestion pop-up and the video description. You may check after watching this. So let's start. This will contain more detailed information about his life and his career, and the Pizza Cars 14th anniversary special contains only a small or brief information about Paul Newman, because I had to plan according I had to divide the information equally for all the 4 legends whom I have featured in that video. So yeah, so this video will contain detailed information, more detailed information. So let's recollect the story in order to pay tribute to the late legend Mr. Paul Newman. Yeah, let's start. So first let's see a brief introduction about Paul Newman. So Paul Leonard Newman, born on January 26, 1925, was an American actor, film director, race car driver, and an entrepreneur. He was the recipient of numerous awards, including Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Primetime Emmy Award. And he is the man behind the voice of Doc Hudson in the Pizza Cars film franchise. As I told you before, he voiced Doc Hudson in the first Cars movie, and before Cars 2 was about to come. Cars 2 came at 2011 and he died at 2008. So before Cars 2 he died, so they cannot make him as a character in the Cars 2. And again in Cars 3, Pixar used some of his pre-recorded or archived voice files, audio files, to bring back Doc Hudson. Actually not as a present character, because he is Doc Hudson is also stated as dead in the Cars universe. So they included some of the flashback scenes, like McQueen remembering those scenes. So they used those scenes are just pre-recorded or archived voices of Paul Newman, which they ignored in to use in Cars 1. And so those pre-recorded voices helped the Pixar crew to use them as a flashback scenes in Cars 3. So that's it for the background or the brief introduction about Paul Newman. So let's start about his early life. Let's see about his early life. So let's start. So let's see Paul Newman's early life. His full name was Paul Leonard Newman and was born January 26, 1925 in Shaker Heights, Ohio. He was the second son of the couple Teresa Garth and Arthur Sigmund Newman Sr. Paul Newman's father ran a sports shop and Paul's father was a Jewish. Paul's mother was a practitioner at Christian Science. Paul's mother also worked in his father's store while raising Paul and his elder brother Arthur, who later became a producer and production manager. Newman showed early interest in theatre. His first role was at the age of 7, playing the court jester in a school production of Robin Hood. At the age of 10, Newman performed at the Cleveland Playhouse in a production of Saint George and the Dragon, and he was a notable actor and alumnus of their Curtain Puller's Children Theatre program. Graduating from Shaker Heights High School in 1943, he briefly attended Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, where he was initiated into the Phi Kappa Tau fraternity, and then Newman served in the United States Navy in World War II in the Pacific Theater. Initially, he enrolled in the Navy V-12 pilot training program at Yale University, but was dropped when his color blindness was discovered. After training as a radio man and a rear gunner, he was sent to Barbers Point, Hawaii. He was subsequently assigned to Pacific-based replacements, and he later flew as a turret gunner in an Avenger torpedo bomber. As a radio man gunner, his unit was assigned to aircraft carrier Bunker Hill. Shortly before the Battle of Okinawa in the spring of 1945, the pilot of his aircraft had an ear ache and was grounded, as was his crew, including Newman. The rest of their squadron flew to the Bunker Hill. Days later, a kamikaze attack on the vessel killed a number of service members, including other members of his unit. After that war, Newman completed his Bachelor of Arts degree in Drama and Economics at Kenyon College in Gambier, Ohio in 1949. Shortly after earning his degree, he joined several summer stock companies, most notably the Belfry Players in Wisconsin and Woodstock Players in Illinois. He toured with them for 3 months and developed his talents as part of Woodstock Players. He later attended the Yale School of Drama for 1 year before moving to New York City to study under the Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. Oscar Levant wrote that Newman initially was hesitant to leave New York for Hollywood. This is all about Paul Newman's early life. Now let's see his career. First let's see his film career, then his racing career. Firstly, let's see his film career. So Newman arrived in New York in 1951 with his first wife Jackie Witt, taking up a residence in the St. John's section of Staten Island. He made his Broadway theatre debut in original production of William Ingey's Picnic with Kim Stanley in 1953. and appeared in the original Broadway production of The Desperate Hours in 1955. In 1959, he was in the original Broadway production of Sweet Bird Youth with Geraldine Page, and 3 years later starred with Page in the film version of this. During this time, Newman started acting in television. His first credited role was in a 1952 episode of The Tales of Tomorrow entitled Eyes from Space. Newman acted in several television broadcasts like Our Town, The Battler, and etc. And then Newman's first film for the Hollywood was The Silver Chalice in 1954. The film was actually a box office failure, and in 1956 Newman garnered much attention and acclaim for the role of Rocky Graziano in Somebody Up There Likes Me, and in 1958 he starred in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. This film, The Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, was a box office smasher, and Newman garnered his first Academy Award nomination. Also in 1958, Newman starred in The Long Hot Summer with Johnny Woodward, with whom he reconnected on the set in 1957. They first had met in 1953. He won the Best Actor at the 1958 Cannes Film Festival for this film. Paul Newman has acted many films from The Silver Chalice in 1954 to the documentary The Meerkats in 2008. So let's see about some of his major films in his career. So they are The Young Philadelphians in 1959, a drama which co-starred Barbara Rush, Robert Vaughn and Alexis Smith, and was directed by Vincent Sherman. The film was based on a 1956 novel, The Philadelphian, by Richard P. Powell. He followed up with Leeds in Exodus in 1960, From the Terrace 1960, The Hustler 1961, HUD 1963, Torn Curtain 1966, Harper 1966, Hombre 1967, Cool Hand Luke 1967, and many more. Apart from acting, Newman has also directed many films like The Harry and Son, and Newman directed 4 feature films starring Joan Woodward, like the Rachel in 1968, The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds in 1972, and The Shadow Bots in 1980, and also The Glass Menagerie in 1987. 25 years after the film Hustler, Newman reprised his role of Fast Eddie Felsen in the film Color of Money in 1986. It was directed by Martin Scorsese, for which he won the Academy Award for the Best Actor. Some deemed this to be a weak rinse of the original Felsen role in the Hustler movie, and the Academy Award as an honorary tribute to a portfolio of Oscar nominated roles that had not won at that time but were more deserving. In 1994, Newman played alongside Tim Robbins as the character Sidney J. Musburger, in the Coen brothers comedy The Hudsucker Proxy. And now coming to his 21st century film roles. In 2003, Newman appeared in Broadway revival of Wilder's Our Town, receiving his first Tony Award nomination for his performance. PBS and cable network Showtime hired a taping of the production, and Newman was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in mini-series and TV movies. Newman's last film appearance was in the 2002 film Road to Perdition, and he was a supporting character alongside Tom Hanks, for which Paul Newman was nominated for an Academy Award for the Best Supporting Actor. His last appearance overall, although he continued to provide voice work for films like in 2005 in the HBO miniseries Empire Falls, in which he played the dissolute father of the protagonist Miles Robbie. As Paul Newman loved racing, in 2006 he provided the voice of Doc Hudson in Disney Pixar film franchise Cars. This was his final role for a major feature film. While not in the second film Cars because of his death in 2008, his archive voice recordings were used in Cars 3 for voicing Doc Hudson in the flashback scenes, and his family received the building in the place of him almost 9 years after his death. So Newman retired in May 2007. He retired from acting in May 2007. Before his retirement, Paul Newman provided narration for the 2007 documentary film Dale, which is about the life of NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt Sr., and the 2008 documentary The Meerkats. And that's it for Paul Newman's film career. Now let's see about his racing career. Let's start. Newman was a racing enthusiast and first became interested in motorsports. While training at Watkins Glen Racing School for the filming of Winning, a 1969 film, because of this love and passion for racing, Newman agreed in 1971 to star and host in his first TV special, Once Upon a Wheel, on the history of auto racing. It was directed and produced by David Winters, who also co-owned many racing cars with Newman. Newman's first professional event as a racer was in 1972 at Thompson International Speedway. He quietly entered as P.L. Newman, by which he continued to be known in the racing community. He was a frequent competitor in Sports Cars Club of America (SCCA), the events for the rest of the decade, eventually winning 4 national championships. He later drove in the 1979 24 Hours of Le Mans in Dick Barber's Porsche 935 and finished in a second place. Newman reunited with Barber in 2000 to compete in the Petit Le Mans. From the mid 1970s to the early 1990s, he drove for the Bob Sharp racing team, racing mainly Datsuns in the Trans Am series. He became closely associated with the brand during the 1980s, even appearing in commercials for them in Japan and having special edition of Nissan Skyline named after him. At the age of 70 years and 8 days, Newman became the oldest driver to date to be part of a winning team in major sanctioned race, winning in his class at the 1995 24 Hours of Daytona. Among his last major races were the Baja 1000 in 2004 and 24 Hours of Daytona once again in 2005. During the 1976 auto racing season, Newman became interested in forming a professional auto racing team and contacted Bill Freeman, who introduced Newman to a professional auto racing management, and their company specialized in Can-Am, Indy cars, and other high performance racing automobiles. This team was based in Santa Barbara, California, and commuted Willow Springs International Motorsports Park for much of its testing seasons. Their Freeman racing team was very competitive in North American Can-Am series in their Budweiser sponsored Chevrolet powered Spider NFS. Newman and Freeman began a long successful partnership with the Newman Freeman racing team in the Can-Am series, which culminated in the Can-Am Teams Championship trophy in 1979. Newman was closely associated with Freeman's established Porsche racing team, which allowed both Newman and Freeman to compete in SCCA and IMSA racing events together, including the Sebring 12-hour endurance sport cars race. This car was sponsored by Beverly Porsche or Audi. Freeman was SCCA's Southern Pacific National Champion during the Newman-Freeman period. Later, Newman co-founded the Newman-Haas Racing with Carl Haas champion car team in 1983, going on to win 8 drivers' championships under his own ownership. The 1996 racing season was chronicled in the IMAX film Super Speedway in 1997, which was narrated by Newman. He was a partner in Atlantic Championship team Newman Wax Racing. Newman was posthumously inducted into the SCCA Hall of Fame at the National Convention in Las Vegas, Nevada on February 21st, 2009. Newman's racing life was chronicled in the documentary film Winning: The Racing Life of Paul Newman in 2015. That's all for his racing career. Now let's see his philanthropy. In case you don't know what is philanthropy means donating his money for good reasons, like donating his money for charity to poor people, like that. Philanthropy means spending his money for good reasons. Yeah, let's start. Newman was a co-founder of Newman's Own, a food company, from which he donated all the post-tax profits to the charity. As of November 2018, these donations have totaled over $535 million. In 1998, Newman founded the Serious Fun Children's Network, a global family of summer camps and programs for children with serious illness. In 2006, Newman also co-founded a Safe Water Network with John Whitehead and Josh Weston to access safe water to the unreserved communities around the world. In 1983, Newman became a major donor for the Mirror Theatre Limited, and in June 1999, Newman donated $250,000 to the Catholic Relief Services to aid refugees in Kosovo. On 1st June 2007, Kenyon College announced that Newman had donated $10 million to the school to establish a scholarship fund as part of the college's $230 million fundraising campaign. Mr. Paul Newman and Mrs. Joni Woodward were honorary co-chairs of a previous campaign. Mr. Newman was one of the founders of the organization, the Committee Encouraging Corporate Philanthropy, or commonly known as CECP. Mr. Newman was named as the most generous celebrity of 2008 by the organization Giving Back organization. And they were right, because Mr. Newman had contributed over $20 million for the year 2008 to the Newman's Own Foundation, which distributes funds to a variety of charities, and it's a food company, as I told you before. Upon Newman's death, the Italian newspaper Osservatore Romano published a notice stating Newman's philanthropy. It also commented that Mr. Newman was a generous heart and actor of a dignity and style rare in Hollywood quarters. They were right, because as a human, as an actor, as a celebrity, he contributed more to this world, and he is a generous heart, he is a kind-hearted person, so he's a great man. Mr. Newman also preserved some lands around Westport, Connecticut, and he requested the state governor for funds for the Aspetuck Land Trust in Easton. And from 2011 till now, Mr. Paul Newman's estate gifted land to Westport are being managed by the Aspetuck Land Trust, thanks to his donation. So Newman has set an example how a human being should be, how a philanthropist should be. He has set an history or record, whatever it may be, for a philanthropy. He has been a great person. Apart from he is a celebrity actor, whatever it is, he's been a great person. We miss the legend today after 12 years. That's it for his philanthropy and donations. Now let's get into his life and how he did. So Mr. Newman had two marriages. First was with Mrs. Jackie Witt from 1949 to 1958. They had a son, Mr. Scott, and two daughters, Mrs. Susan and Mrs. Stephanie Kindall. Scott, who appeared in films including The Breakheart Pass, The Towering Inferno, and the film Fraternity Row, and unfortunately died in November 1978 from a drug overdose. Newman started the Scott Newman Center for Drug Abuse Prevention in memory of his son. Mrs. Susan is a documentary filmmaker and a philanthropist just like her father, and has a Broadway and screen credits, including a starring role as one of four Beatles fans in I Wanna Hold Your Hand in 1978, and also a small role opposite to her father in Slapshot. She also received an Emmy nomination as a co-producer of her telefilm The Shadow Bots. And in 1953, Mr. Newman met actress Mrs. Joni Woodward on production of The Picnic on Broadway production. It was Newman's Broadway debut, and Woodward was an understudy. Shortly after filming The Long Hot Summer in 1957, he divorced Jackie Witt to marry Joni Woodward. Mr. Newman married Mrs. Joni Woodward in early 1958, and they moved to the 11th Street in Manhattan before buying a home and starting a family in Westport, Connecticut. They were one of the first Hollywood movie star couples to choose to raise their families outside California. They remained married for 50 years until his death in 2008. They had three daughters, Eleanor Nell Teresa, Melissa Lizzie Stewart, and Claire Clea Olivia. All the names are a bit difficult to pronounce. Sorry if I pronounced them wrong. Newman was well known for his devotion to his wife and family. Mr. Newman directed films like Rachel and The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds, starring his daughter Eleanor Nell Teresa and his wife Mrs. Joni Woodward. Newman was an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church and was a Democrat and political activist for his whole life. And that's all about his life. Now let's see about his death. Unfortunately, Mr. Newman died on 26 September 2008. Mr. Newman was scheduled to make his professional stage directing debut with the Westport's Country Playhouse's 2008 production of Mice and Men, but he stepped down on May 23, 2008, citing his health concerns. In 2008, he was reported to have lung cancer and was receiving treatment for the condition at Sloan Kettering Hospital in the New York City. He got this lung cancer because of he was a heavy cigarette smoker until he quit the habit in 1986. Newman unfortunately died on the morning of September 26, 2008 in the company of his family. He was 83 years old when he died, and his body was cremated after a private funeral service near his home in Westport. So that's it, guys, about Mr. Paul Newman's life, as we paid a tribute to the legend on his death anniversary, 12th death anniversary. It's been 12 years since he passed away. So he set a great example for how a human being should be, how we should be kind-hearted, how we should be generous. He just set an example for everyone, and I am sad that we missed the legend today. So that's it, guys, and I am sorry to upload this so late. Maybe I will upload this on 3rd or 2nd September, 3rd or 2nd October. So I am very sorry if I upload it so late. The delays are because the editing stuff took too much, and school also was there. So I am very sorry for uploading this so late, but I will try to make everything be correct in the near future. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We will meet in the next video. Thank you, guys. Bye.